Hello,
Hello.
everyone. I was just finishing insulting Lamberto
For my
because he's
gigabit
mocking me
connection.
because I don't have a gigabit connection.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, Lamberto is a colleague of mine. We work at JetBrains, both of us, on package search. And he's annoyingly enthusiastic with Gradle and static analysis and stuff like, well, NCI. Static analysis is more of my thing. But I thought it was the right person to have with us today to set up those things on our repository. Unfortunately, you will have noticed Ivan is not with us. Unfortunately, um, I hope he will be back soon, but today he couldn't. So for now, you're stuck with me and Lamberto, which I will proceed to call Ivan from now on.
Oh,
Ciao, Ivan.
ciao.
Okay, so just a brief recap of what we did on Sunday. So on Sunday, we we implemented theming in the app. Well, some basic theming anyway, and we implemented some other like UI components. I just realized that the text down there is wrong, so let me fix it. Today we are doing CI and static analysis. Okay, now it's correct. Good. Um, so yeah, first of all, what do we mean with static analysis in the first place? Well, static analysis is essentially, let's put it this way, the compiler in Kotlin, in strongly typed languages, does some static analysis on your code when it compiles to make sure that what you wrote makes sense. So when you get red code or errors from the compiler, that's a form of static analysis. Obviously, if you're doing languages that are not strongly typed or not typed at all, say for example JavaScript, then yeah, you're on your own because there's no compiler to help you with that. Tooling might try to help you. Yes, tooling might try to help you there, but it's not necessarily going to be as helpful as it can be with a language that actually is meant to help you with compilation. Now, compilers are one example of static analysis. And to give you a better definition of what static analysis is, it means looking at the code in a static way. So looking either at the source code or at the compile code and make sure that what is there is correct. For some definition of correct, that depends really on the specific static analysis tool that you're using. And also, as opposed to analysis that you would do at runtime. So, for example, debugging an application is a kind of analysis that you can do using a debugger at runtime, and that is dynamic analysis, or I think that's the name. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're talking about static analysis. Why am I putting myself in the corner? Given the app is written in Kotlin, there's really one main static analysis tool that people use, which is called detect. There's others that are fairly less used. Detect is, I would say, the main one. And there's also something else that we want to use besides detect, which is kt-lint. Now, kt-lint is a linter in the strict sense of the word. So a linter is a tool that checks that the code style is correct, essentially. It doesn't check that you're doing, that you're not creating bugs or something like that, which is something that instead a static analysis tool might do for you. And it's essentially something in the case of KT-Lint that can also fix the code for you in some cases. So think of it as something that, you know, that IntelliJ or Android Studio has a code formatter, and that you can configure it to suit the code style that you like the most. In the case of KT-Lint, there's no configuration or almost no configuration. The very little configuration that there is extremely limited on purpose, because the idea is that, and the way it also talks about itself, is an anti-bike shedding linting tool. And in case you don't know what bike shedding is, it means when you start an endless discussion about something that is trivial and not important in the big scheme of things. Say, for example, that Lamberto might not put curly braces around ifs and else, and I really like that. And if we started discussing about that, that would be a bike shedding discussion, because it at the end of the day, it's not gonna break the app unless you're Apple, in which case that actually happens to you. It happened historically. That they broke something, I don't remember what. They had a security issue because they forgot to put the curly braces around something. But anyway, that doesn't really matter. The point is, I am his boss, so I can just tell Lamberto, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, basically that's how it rolls. Yeah, well, look how he's laughing.
That works. And yeah, so I would say the first thing we could do maybe is just take a brief look at the at what these tools are and where we can find them. So, for example, you can see, well, this is our repository, obviously, and this is the detect website. I've actually noticed something new since the last time I was here, which is now they have an official logo, which is nice. If you search for detect, I think it still happens. No, wait, that was the wrong thing. Screw you. Okay. Yeah, okay, it doesn't happen as much anymore, but there is something else that is called detect. Yeah, this thing here, which is just to be confusing. There's an old tool from Amnesty International that was called detect, that is completely unrelated with detect, the Kotlin static analysis tool. So yeah, you're looking for this one, not this one, which is going to be of no use for you, because you're probably not an activist or a journalist scanning for non-spyware. So yeah, how do you use detect? Well, obviously, if you've ever used any tool that does static analysis, you will know there's a configuration file. And in that configuration file, you can specify all the rules that you want to enable or don't want to enable. And if you're an Android developer, this should ring a bell. You must be thinking, hey, wait, it's a tool that checks code either compiled or the sources, and has a configuration file and has different rules that can be configured in different ways to check my code base. That reminds me a lot of Android Lint. And well, Android Lint is another tool that does static analysis. And obviously, I forgot to open the page in advance, but there it is. And we are going to configure Android Lint as well. Obviously, you now see we have 1, 2, 3 static analysis tools that we want to configure, but they all have different uses. Detect is more of a general Kotlin, let's say, bug avoidance and style help KT-lint is a code formatter that can also check whether your code is not adhering to the code style that you want to have. And Android Lint, obviously the name implies it. Android Lint checks for issues with your Android application specifically. So that might be some easy example. You have a hard-coded string in your code base that gets shown to the user. Lint will tell you you should extract that as a string resource so it can be translated. So it's three different things that are complementary, because KT-lint will check the code formatting. Detect will try to find bugs and similar anti-pattern in Kotlin as a language, whereas Lint itself, Android Lint, will check for problems with your Android code specifically. Okay, so we want to run these things, and I think the first step that we can take before we do I was gonna say before we do anything we should update Kotlin, because a new Kotlin version was released today, but I have the sneakiest suspicion that if we do, we are going to break many things. So
Yeah,
I will postpone until I will have time to check whether Jetpack Compose works with Kotlin 1.5, which I do not think it does yet. So, because I know there were problems that they were looking into, and it would be silly to do that now when I know there are problems. But we can start by adding maybe, well, what do you think, Katie? Should we start with Android Lint, because we don't need to add any Gradle plugins or anything?
Yeah,
it's a fairly
I think,
straightforward
yeah,
thing.
it's already bundled, so it would be like, isn't it like already kind of enabled in the IDE while you're
Some checks are, in the sense that if you do inspect code and you check what the current inspection profile is, you will notice that there is Android specifically Android category. All these ones are Android specific inspections that are bundled with Android Studio, and this one in particular are mapping lint checks.
Okay. So it's not everything enabled by default?
Not all of them are enabled, and I know that some of them, even if you enable them, aren't
Very much work.
available to be run inside of the IDE because they might take a long time. So there's checks that are lightweight. You have them directly in the editor, but some checks that require, for example, an extensive analysis of the entire code base of your application are not available because they are not suitable to be run on the fly.
Sense.
Or at least it used to be the case. I don't know if it's still, but that's how it was. So the first thing that we can do is we can go to our build.gradle file, and we can see if there's any lint configuration that was created. There is none. So I think, and I never remember exactly what to do, but first of all, we can try and run it as it is right now and see what happens. So we can go here, or actually do run anything.
Or Gradle control.
Gradle lint.
No, you gotta, yeah.
Let's see if it works. I mean, it should work.
Yeah, it's strange that it's not showing anything.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh, it doesn't know about the tasks for some reason.
Oh, well. You gotta maybe, I don't know. Maybe you gotta sync. Is that PFP?
This is the latest Android Studio canary because you need to use a canary to use Compose.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
I got it.
besides the stable version, like it was released yesterday, but it's based on IntelliJ 2020.2, so it's kind of like almost a year old in terms of
Wait,
IntelliJ platform.
at line 8, there is this extra. Is that a bundle with Gradle, that function, or?
Yeah, this is
I was not aware of it.
it's the same thing you would do in Groovy when you have x dot something, or you have the x closure and you define
Yeah, but
stuff in there.
that's the default or what?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the extra properties extension, and this is the
Wow.
initial value.
Oh, okay. Got
Because
it.
then you can also do other stuff. I'm not 100% sure this is the right form, and this is actually something I wanted to ask you.
Yeah,
because-
I don't use extras because I mean they feel intrinsically evil because they descend from Groovy. So
Yeah, to be
yeah,
fair,
I tend to stay away from that dark magic. So
this could just as easily be
Yeah.
like this and work
and also,
just
which
fine.
version of Gradle are you using? Because if you're using Gradle 7, you could go for detomify and yeah, no stuff written there. But I mean, just saying. Otherwise, I mean, if it's just one version in one point, just
It
hardcode.
is Gradle 7,
Yeah, then it's fine.
but
If it's only one place, just write it there. I mean, there is no reason to complicate yourself.
yeah, it's only one module for now, so it's fine.
It's fine.
If we start modularizing the app, then yes, absolutely, we'll call you back and we'll have you write things to Toml, because I haven't done it yet, and I'm really curious, but I'm not entirely sure. Huh?
I already did. I used
Yeah,
them.
I'm sure you did. I'm not entirely sure that the IntelliJ / Android Studio integration knows how to deal with Toml.
Well,
So.
it does, because actually it's not changing anything in the dependency resolution system and management. It's just a step before, which is actually parsing the TOML and basically adding the dependencies in a programmatic way by reading the TOML file. So
Okay.
it doesn't.
So it would look like you just don't have the versions defined here,
Yeah,
right?
basically it generates for you some code that that returns you a dependency object.
Okay,
So
and you just have here like something dot something.
Exactly, which is code generated for you. Because there is a step in the configuration in the configuration phase which actually generates those dependencies for you, and actually it's very useful. You cannot even use the DOM file. You can write the DSL directly in the settings.gradle.kts if you don't want to use the DOM file, because they added the DSL to do that. And you can actually even publish those DOM files on Maven so that you recover them in the settings file and apply them so that the code is generated for you. If you, I don't know, you want to share some
Sounds complicated.
Nah.
At any rate, no, this is the wrong one. What I wanted to do was to check the build. No, I ran it. Okay, yes, it's in run.
Yeah, it's this one.
So yeah, it says it generated the. Oh, this is. I'm too used now to the fact that the new version of IntelliJ has the preview built in. Ah! Why doesn't this have it?
Yeah. You gotta copy path and open it in Firefox. Or you can enable the opening Firefox in the option.
Yeah, but whatever. So there's obsolete custom lint check.
The lint star itself is out of date. Nice.
Yeah, this is just saying that it's using an old version of lint for its own checks, but I don't care. I will probably not care about this. Obsolete SDK int version check. Meetmap NEDPI v26. That is actually a good point. we have our resource here that is in the bucket v26, but our min
is
26. So there's no point in having that, and I can just do this. And yeah, just YOLO it. Okay.
YOLO.
And next up, there is, yeah, this string that can have its value replaced with an ellipsis, and that is in strings, and it's
And it actually
here.
says it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, you see you have the inspection already anyway, so you can just do replace, and we're done. And now if we run this again, it complains about life. Okay, allow me to do this and try again.
Oh, yeah.
Because it got really confused somehow.
It generated some resources and stuff from the MIPUB and EDPI.
Yeah. I changed this version. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now if we refresh our checks, yes, there are 14 obsolete custom lint check. Well, all this stuff is not stuff we can do anything about.
Well,
these are all lint checks from libraries that we are.
Oh, inside the libraries.
Yeah, they come like this is material, this is runtime. I think this is, yeah, it's all Compose stuff. So Compose itself has some embedded lint checks, but they are using an older version of lint, probably for compatibility reasons. I don't know. But I would say this makes this lint check absolutely useless.
Nice. You can disable it, I guess?
Yes. So I can copy this, and now I need to remember. I can use like.
You configure lint to suppress.
I can do, yeah, I can create a lint.xml file and just chuck it somewhere, and I can probably just take this one.
Inside the res? Or
I think it goes in the application folder. Place it in the root directory. Okay, the root directory. But I think that we can actually put it wherever we want, and then with the lint options, we can probably tell it where the lint XML file is. Or can we? I don't know. Anyway, let's start with putting it in the root. Let's do one step at a time. New file, lint.xml. Yes, add it. Thank you. And I do not want any of this. I don't want this.
We just gotta ignore you. There was the ignore. Yeah.
And
on the left.
That's it. Now, if you run again, theoretically, it should pick it up. Yeah, it says build successful, and I think if we go back here, no, it's still the same. Lol. But I don't know if it's because it just didn't delete it. So
it's set up to date actually. So yeah.
Let's see. Let's try and run it. Blah 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 blah. Also, would be easier to run lint debug, but whatever. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. It just I think there's a bug in the lint Gradle task that is not considering the configuration file to see if it's up to date. So yeah, if anyone wants to file a bug, I'm streaming, I'm busy. But that looks like a bug. Anyway, so things that we can do with the lint.xml file is we can configure everything that we want. And I think, I'm actually quite sure that lint options should allow you to create, to say where the lint.xml file is. but I don't think there's any actual documentation about that.
Yeah, you should just open the Lambda and hope that it's not some extension magic.
Let's see. Lint options. And it's
Aha.
already complaining that it's deprecated. Now it's called lint.
Ooh.
That didn't
What?
really work. Okay, it's just lint. Okay,
That is nice.
that's better. So let's see this dot. If I
File.
look for file, there's only that config. No. Are you telling me you still cannot do this? Damn. Well, you can generate stuff, which is useful because, for example, we can tell it to generate the serif output, which is going to be useful.
It's a standard, I guess.
Yeah, it's a standard. Oh, lint config. There it is. Serif output. Serif is the format that we can then use with GitHub static analysis. So when we create the CI using GitHub Actions, if we tell it, hey, expect this serif file, GitHub can parse it and can highlight in pull requests, for example, exactly where the warnings were in the code. So that's quite useful. But anyway, what we want to do is lint config. We want to move this because I hate having it here. And I will create
That's a very, very important problem.
Build config and just move it there. Factor, yes, thank you, bye. Thank you, bye. And this is a file, right? It's a var that takes a file, perfect. And this is then root dir dot
can you no a root project dot file.
You're right. I always forget which one is which.
Well, actually, root dir is just a file. You can just do file of root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Build config lint.xml. Okay.
Or you can go like root dir.path.resolve.
Yeah, but
dot to file dot whatever.
Yeah, there's too many dots in there. No, I mean this is easier to do. So let's try and run it again just to make sure. And it seems like it's still good. Yeah, okay, still good. I will just do a clean just in case because I don't trust it anymore now that I know that it doesn't know when it's up to date. But okay, we don't have test instrumentation runners. We don't have Android JUnit tests, but at some point I guess we will. So wait, did I run it again? I'll run it again. Okay, yes, and okay, good. Okay, so we have configured lint effectively. There's other properties that we have that are that can be useful. For example, warnings as errors. This essentially puts lint in zero tolerance mode. So it essentially will prevent your build from passing when you run lint if there's anything coming up from lint.
That's
you can
kind
also
of aggressive.
create, like if you're adding lint to an existing code base, you can create a so-called baseline file, which essentially is a snapshot of the current issues found in the code base, and it will not flag them to you. It will only flag new ones that you add after you generated the baseline. If it's at all possible, I would try to just get rid of all the issues as quickly as possible, because if you create a baseline file and that might actually contain some important problems that you want to look at, and if you just ignore them forever, essentially, that's not that's not a great idea.
No, not at all.
But yeah, if you want, you can use baseline, whatever. Yeah, there's all the instructions are on the
How do you create
developer's
one?
website.
There's a task, I
Create
guess.
warnings baseline. You set this, and if the file doesn't exist, it will be created. Otherwise,
Oh,
it will read it and use it as a baseline.
okay.
What else? What else? What else? What else? I think for now we should be fine. I'm just gonna check quickly if I forgot anything. HTML output, abort an error. You don't want this.
How do we know where it gets generated aside from hard coding it?
Where it gets generated what?
The
report,
files.
you mean?
Mm,
It's here.
okay.
So by default, it generates the HTML and XML one.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. So let's see.
So it's, yeah, it's there.
You can do just sarif report equals true. And I want to see if it generates it just like that, because that would be very nice. Yeah. And the sarif is a JSON, so it's...
Oh, it's basically a JSON file.
Yeah.
Is it relative the parts of the file that it references? Or like if it says, okay, in that file, in file a.kp, there is a problem. Yeah, but where is it?
I think it's always relative to the
project.
root.
Oh, to the root. Okay.
I think. I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I can do this and see what it generates, because it will find some.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're warning us error. You can.
Yep. That's fine.
Did it
But
create
I want
it?
to see them.
Oh.
Oh yeah, none of this is actually relevant. Yeah,
see?
it has the base IDs.
But isn't that...
Yeah, the problem here is that the base, I think they're absolute paths on the current file system.
Yeah, that's not good for... Well,
I don't know. We'll see later.
we will find a way.
We'll see later, because Detect also supports generating sarif reports. So that's fairly useful to have them both. But I would say for now we can probably commit this. What have I done here?
What have I done?
Why? Okay, whatever. Sure.
You should
I
not commit,
think.
should you?
I think that I need to get a better. I need to get a better file for the ignores, because the one I have is kind of crap. So let me copy. No, this is not good either. Okay. I have one somewhere. So what I usually end up doing is just opening up one of my repositories and then copy pasting the gitignore file. There you go. Go run with the angels in heaven or something. Okay. Now modules is still there, but that's fine. Okay.
Git rm.
No, it's fine. This is just a list of modules. Whatever, I don't care. I mean, I can probably, well, no, it should be. No, I need to remove it. You're right.
No, you cannot do it from here. Git rm dash.
I know it's supremely annoying that you cannot do it from IntelliJ.
Yeah.
Git rm
dash cached. Don't remember.
cached.
Is it passed?
Just use autocomplete, so I'm sure it's correct.
Okay.
I think.
Let's hope so. Ta-da! Why don't I?
I don't know.
I don't know. just force it.
Yep. Oh, see, it's gone.
It works. Yeah.
Yeah, you should never do what I just did. At least
Yeah.
not
Just,
without knowing what you're doing. Anyway,
like we do.
add Android lint config fix errors. Okay, good. Now we're done with this. And I think we can move to the next step, which is to add detect. And you can do it fairly easily, like this. Just adding the plugin like this. Actually, I should put it on the root, not on the app one. Okay.
Well, you should put them in the settings.gradle.kts, to be fair. This is old stuff.
Yeah, but I'm an old person. I do old stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, sync again. I also reckon this is probably an older version than the latest one. Or is it? No, it is the latest one. Okay, because I know there's 1.17, but I think it's probably broken and they haven't really published it much. Let me see. Yeah, 117 RC2, but I was reading yesterday that it's broken, so I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna use 1.16 for now. Okay, we have added the detect.
No, you gotta put apply false in the top and then reapply it in the.
No, but this one applies it to all the sub projects as well.
Yeah, that's evil stuff. No, you for sure do not, unless the plugin itself auto itself applies to the other project.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
That's what it does.
Oh.
You just add it to the root and it applies itself to
the
modules.
That's not very a Gradle friendly way to do stuff.
Well, go and complain to Nicola. Nicola Corti is he's one of the guys working on this. Anyway, I will just add the detect closure. Actually, given that I am a lazy bastard, I will just copy paste it from the last one that I've done that I'm sure is correct and is here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Detect. There you go. Okay. And this one is going in the app. Do I need to apply? I don't think it does apply.
I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta do the apply for. No. You gotta.
Oh, for the version you mean here?
Yeah, keep it there and do the apply false so that it gets loaded in the class path, but then reapply it there without the version.
Okay. Yep. Yes.
So basically, you did the same thing of the class path that you did with the other one, but in a more modern way. Yeah, it was strange that it applies it to sub projects. It would be
just
very
it wrong clearly.
No, maybe because we use that in the old project Lambda. That's why maybe you got confused.
So I think that there is a task to generate the default configuration for detect. Right now I'm pointing it to a file that doesn't exist, so obviously it's going to complain if I run it. Yeah. So if I run Gradle detect, this is going to complain eventually, but it needs to download it first.
Do you still need Tricenter here?
I don't know. Probably no.
Probably not.
I will try at some point to remove it. Well, we can try later once we're done with everything else. Okay, this is obviously complaining that the config doesn't exist. I was like build config, and I'll just do detect detect.yaml, and we can just create the detect.yaml file. But again, I will just steal it from this other project. I mean, I've done the effort. Might as well. There's some stuff that I need to take out of there because that's a library and it has different needs than an app. But okay, so stuff that I need to take out is mostly comments, I think. Comments. Oh, formatting, I will actually disable it because we will use KT-lint. So there's no point in having detect doing exactly the same checks that KT-lint is also doing. So
what does KT-lint do that detect can't?
I think they are theoretically the same thing, but the one thing that detect cannot do is actually reformat the code for you.
Oh,
so
yeah, right.
Detect can check, but it cannot change, I think. And I don't know, I've always had some minor issues using the detect take on it, so I always end up using KT-lint instead. So I think we are done with this, and now we can again run detect. What?
What?
Oh, right. Yes. I need to
root
do
project.
Root project dot files.
And
okay.
It needs files. Does it need files?
Probably.
Oh, configurable file collection. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It needs files. Because I think you can stack multiple. Okay. Yeah. It runs, and it's complaining that in here.
Unused private.
Unused private member. Oh yeah, right. I don't think it's smart enough to realize that it shouldn't when there's a preview thing.
Yeah, why would he?
But yeah, let's try again. I don't remember. Yeah, okay, it's fine. I don't remember though. I seem to remember that there is a way for detect for that check specifically.
To skip when there is an annotation.
Yeah. So was it unused? Is it here? Unused private? No.
Style maybe? No.
Yeah, for maybe style.
Go for private. Just Control F. Find it.
Necessary unused private member. Yes. No, you can do allowed names, but it doesn't have a way to say if it's annotated with this, then don't flag it, which would be useful, I think, but
oh well.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really make any difference for us right now. Okay, good. So we have configured detect and we have fixed problems. That was easy. One thing I am not going through in detail is just every single rule. You just go on the detect website and look for them. There's a question in the chat. Is it better spotless or detect? I think detect spotless runs KT-lint and that's it. Let's see. Let's double check. But I think it either runs them both or it just runs KT-lint. So let's see. Kotlin. Yeah, it runs dictat. Which is an alternative to detect, but it seemed to me last time I checked way less feature rich than detect, so I'd rather use detect instead of dictat. And KTFMT is the same thing as KTLint, even less configurable. if you needed something that has literally 0 knobs you can turn. In KTLint, you can say if you want to have, like, you can specify the indentation. I don't think KTFMT does that. I don't think it allows you to do that at all. So we could use the Spotless plugin to run KTLint if we wanted. Otherwise, we can do what I generally end up doing, which is to use another plugin, which of course I never remember, which is Kotlinter. So I think it's, yes, this one here. And yeah, this is fairly lightweight. The nice thing about Kotlinter is that it has good configuration done like this, because the problem I have with Spotless is that you configure it like this, like a heathen, and yeah, it's not great.
That's because Groovy uses as a special syntax for maps that kind of resembles functions, but it's not actually functional.
This is Kotlin.
Yeah, so yeah.
That's but it's just, yeah, no. Also, Spotless doesn't pick up the configuration in editor config that you can do with KTLint, which is something that instead we want to do. So I will not do that. I will not use Spotless for that reason. There's, you know, it's is no single deal breaker, but there's a bunch of small issues that when you add them become quite annoying at the end of the day. So again, we go to the root, we do this, apply false. I also realize we don't need the parentheses, so we can do this. And then we just add this to the application itself. Okay, now we have set all the plugins that we need, and we just need to configure it. Again, I'm a lazy bastard. So what I do is I copy paste the things. Where is the KTLint? Maybe there is nothing here. Happy that it was helpful. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to configure KTLint beyond the editor config file, which is here, and I will copy paste this one. Okay, because KTLint gets its configuration from an editor config file. So we want to do this, and we want to sync. Now, IntelliJ has built-in support for editor config files, in the sense that you can create your, well, you can override your IDE code style by using an editor config. Unfortunately, that is something that I hate with all myself, because more than once it happened to me that someone changed something in the editor config, and I went here and I started changing things, and I didn't know why the fuck the formatter was doing things differently than I told it to. And there wasn't this there yet. But the thing is, even if this is here, you might miss it, because it doesn't tell you, oh, this one is overridden. It tells you some might be overridden. So what I generally do is just disable editor config and go with it. I also think that I have, let me check, because I have something in the, yes, this is the anal configuration. Copy
the what?
Project. This is very anal, in the sense that it is extremely specific. We're not going to use it because we're not really doing Android View XML, But if you did, this would sort stuff for you in the XML, which is quite useful. It took me a lot of time to create, but it's worth it for me because it's more. I like things when they are in order, and I hate attributes being in random orders. Okay, so I think we are done. I think we should try to do Kotlin lint. No, it's lint Kotlin. I never remember. Yes. Okay. It's failing some checks because it's saying that here we're missing new line after stuff, and it is indeed correct, but you see the IntelliJ formatter isn't as strict as KT-lint is. So a good thing to do would be to have the to configure. First of all, we need to tell KT-lint that this is an Android project. And second of all, we need to configure something to actually format the code for us. Now, I never remember how you do Android here. Is this the only usage? Nope. Okay. Okay. So generally, in the Android Kotlin style guide is slightly different from the official Kotlin style guide. And to recognize that, KT-lint has a flag that you can set to it when you run it from the command line that is Android. So essentially you can run it and say, let's see if I can find an example. Well, KT-lint -f will auto-format code for you. And then there's also a -- Android, I think, that you add if you wanted to respect, the fact that it's an Android project. Now, I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember if the Gradle plugin has support for that. I think so, but I never remember. Multi-module and Android. This isn't particularly helpful. Okay. Sure. Kotlinter, blah blah blah. I don't remember. Let's see if maybe it's just not documented. So, let's see, Kotlinter, and we can configure it. Let's see, this dot. Ciao, Ivan. Welcome.
Hello.
I don't think you can do it from here somehow. I don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter because we're not using the Android style guide. We're using the Kotlin one because we like the Kotlin one. Now, if you want to fix the formatting, you just do format Kotlin, and you will see that it has reformatted things. It has done it. I mean, it looks horrible, but it is the style, the format that you're supposed to use. So fine, I guess. Maybe it would be less horrible like this. And then we can run format Kotlin again just in case. Yeah, okay. It's happier with this. I will leave it like this. It looks like less like shit.
Mhm.
Okay, so I would say let's commit, add detect, and lint to project. Okay.
Did you just put them in a list and then go for any?
Yeah, but whatever.
Yeah.
What was I going to do? Oh yes, I need to push because now it is Lamberto's time to shine.
Yay.
Teach me, master.
Let's say go.
Let's go.
Okay,
Okay,
so first of all, what are our goals? What do we want to do?
we want to make sure that we run static analysis and tests when we have them. Whenever commit is pushed to the main branch.
Okay.
We don't have pull requests for now, so it's not really necessary, but I would
Okay.
configure it just in case if anyone ever opened us a pull request. Pull
Okay,
request
so
welcome.
pull request. Okay, so if you just want checks, it's kind of easy. Okay, let's go. Okay, first of all, just to be sure that we are on the same page, let's a little talk about what is CI, why is it needed, and why it's cool, basically. So CI stands for continuous integration, which means that there is a magic computer somewhere in the clouds that whenever something happens to your repository, which may be a commit or a pull request or whatever, and something will run, like a job, like some code will run. Okay, in our case, it would be some Gradle tasks, basically, that will just tell us that they are okay and or if they are not. Now, you can, in the case of GitHub, when you configure continuous integrations, which is called GitHub Actions, which if you go in the Actions tabs, Sebastiano, if you go in the Action tab, you can show them, and basically, wait, the stream is okay. No, sorry, my screen was kind of. Basically, you can configure those actions to run whatever you want, normally inside a Docker container, and eventually surface in a comment or inside a chat or inside the pull request itself some informations that you prefer. For now, I think we will just run the jobs.
I think we can
Eventually,
simply run Gradle check.
yeah, yeah, okay. Eventually, and later, you can eventually customize the messages that GitHub tells you, like with the serif files that actually when someone makes a pull request and there's something that is off in the pull request, the GitHub bot can write to you, hey dude, this stuff is kind of off. This is the line. Please check it out and so on. So all the info now. How do you write the code that needs to be executed, and how do you tell which events needs to be listened to, and so on? So basically, yeah, there is the documentation. It's it's good for as a starting point, but it's not very accurate when you start doing something that it's not really straightforward. Now we're doing something really straightforward, so documentation it's okay. But basically, all that you need to do is to create. What is that? Oh yeah,
I realized that I wasn't logged in. I was wondering why this wasn't showing up. Now I know.
Yeah, basically you gotta create a folder. Inside the folder .github in your repository, you create a folder called workflows, and in each and you just start putting files, YAML files in that workflows folder, and basically in YAML you tell GitHub to do some stuff, basically. Those workflows are workflows that uses like something, but most of the time, since we're using Gradle, we don't need that complex workflows because as long as we can run Gradle, we got a JVM, we can configure everything from our side and then just say to the action, hey, dude, run Gradle. Gradle can handle everything. I don't need any extra, configurations of steps like downloading like npm run and npm init and whatever. Because we are lucky, we got Gradle. But if you, for example, came from a Python word, you gotta do something like check that pip is like up to date. Then you gotta unfreeze your freezes like npm install. Then you gotta, I don't know, copy stuff here and there, and then actually run your code and so on. But with Gradle, you just ask Gradle to do everything, and will do all the tasks for you, basically. Have I missed something?
No, seems fairly
Yeah.
correct. One thing I would say on top of this is that to configure GitHub actions, like I would say most cloud CI services, you use a YAML file. So, for example, if you want to see the we are building an Android app, so probably Android CI would work with us because build an Android project with Gradle, sure. So yeah, you get this YAML here that that is a good starting point, let's say, and then you can add stuff to if you want.
Yeah,
So,
it's perfect. That's basically you don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there is
well,
a particular action called from the user eschatos, which allows you to configure a little more how you invoke Gradle so that it looks for it's Gradle command, the fourth one. This one, yeah. There was the v2, I think. Maybe it's actually called Gradle command v2 in the name.
Okay.
I think.
Nope.
I may be wrong. I don't remember exactly. Look on the repository of this guy. This actual
I don't know.
this actual action we're gonna see in a moment what an action is. Basically runs Gradle and parses the output. And if, for example, there is a build scan, it creates a variable in the job that you're running that you can reuse in a later step to, I don't know, publish the build scan in a comment somewhere in the pull request, for example. It uses the same way as a basic action, but actually creates for you variables that you can use in later steps.
I think you're wrong. The latest version is definitely 1.3.
Yeah, probably. Let me check again, but
to add a step here, well, let's look briefly at what is there first.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. Okay, so the first one is the name that you give. Okay, now wait. Before that, you gotta understand that when you run something in CI, that is called a job. Okay, so basically a workflow is like a workflow of jobs that are triggered by some event. Now we're giving the name of the to this workflow that's called buildbot, and the at line 3 is basically the list of events that triggers this workflow. Okay, so we're saying that there is we got just pull request, 2 dots, and that's it. Just omit the branches. Yeah, just delete like
Okay.
You're good for it. Yeah, that's YAML. It's ugly as
I hate YAML.
Yeah, I do as well, but and then we're saying that when someone pushes only on branch master, you gotta run this workflow, and when there is a pull request and then you write nothing because YAML, it means whenever there is a pull request from whatever branch. Now, djobs, what is that? A property, a value, symbol? How do you call it?
I don't know. A thing. It's YAML. It's a thing. Everything is a thing in YAML.
Yeah, basically. the jobs is actually a reserved word that actually you say here the actual jobs that you gotta run, which are the actual executions that will be started. Check is the name. Is an arbitrary name that you give to your job. Okay, so there will be a job called check. The human readable name will be capital, static
Let's
analysis.
just call it like this for now, and we'll create a different one just for the tests, just to make sure.
Yeah, exactly.
That we have explained it well.
Then there is ransom. You choose the operative system. The GitHub Actions actually has a lot of very wide range of already set up operative systems from macOS to Windows to Linux, and you can choose a lot of stuff. And then there are the so-called steps. The steps are, some steps, that your job has to run.
A job is a collection of steps, essentially.
Yeah, a job is a collection of steps that you gotta run. And in a step, you can do whatever. For example, as a basic step, for example, you can try to write one. Yeah, the one at line 21, 22, you give it a name, a human readable name. You can omit that, the name, but the most basic step would be to run a command, like an executable.
Like this.
Yeah, exactly. Like you run chmod +x gradle w. So that way you assume that you have that in your path or in your path it's available this executable, and you just use it. But for example, you may want to have a more complex behavior, like for example, check out your repository, because you may want to trigger something on you may want to, I don't know, say that you have a special trigger for a cron job, because you can cron your workflow, and you wanna, I don't know, ping someone somewhere for no reason at all. You can do that, and you don't even need your repository to do that. You can, I don't know, write it in bash and embed it there. But we want to use a repository, so the first thing that we want to do is to check out a repository. So there is an action already written for that, an action that is published in the GitHub Action Store. It's actually written from GitHub itself, I think. You can check the store, the marketplace. Sorry, not the store. Yeah, you can look for checkout. Is the one that we already use at Lint.
I think it's a built-in one. Yeah.
Yeah, by actions. Yeah, so it's from GitHub. So it actually do what you think it does. It actually checks out the latest. It checks out the actual commit that triggered that build.
Yeah.
By default, I think you can configure it, but I'm not really sure. You can click it on the.
But also I've never needed to. So.
Yeah, exactly. Then the second thing that we gotta do is to set up the JDK, because we're using Gradle, we're using Android, so JDK, To do so, you gotta download all the stuff, and there is already an action for that, which is from GitHub as well. Mm-hmm. With this action, you can choose the Java version and the distribution. The with keyword, symbol, whatever. It's a reserved symbol for a step, which actually passes variables to the action. Because when you write an action and publish one, you can declare that you want an input, a variable, and you can pass the variable this way, which is kind of nice, I'd say. There are defaults, for example, and then in our case, since we are in a Linux environment, because we chose so in line 11, we want to give Gradle the Gradle wrapper the executable permissions, so otherwise everything will go kaboom boom, and then we actually run Gradle. Now we could run Gradle with just writing run 2 dots Gradle w space whatever, but we will use the eschatos action command, which will be very useful later when we want to literally parse the Gradle output and look for where the build scan is. What is a build scan? Well, that's an argument for another
Yeah.
later. But
Different time.
Different time. So yeah. With arguments, the arguments is the actual variable that contains the thing that you want to pass to Gradle. So with arguments, 2 dots, and then whatever, lint. Is it linting? Detect and lint?
Detect main, and I forgot to do something. Yes, I will need to fix it, but sure. I will explain why I have both detect and detect main in a second. And then was lint Kotlin.
And don't we have Android linting base like
and
lint?
Also lint, yes.
Yeah, those are the tasks that we need to run. We can create a task that actually runs those ones, and we just call one here.
Yeah, but just to show that you can run multiple ones.
Yeah, you can do it. And I think we're good to go.
Yeah, let's just create the one for tests, which is essentially the same thing. But obviously we need to call it something different.
Yeah, so check. Oh, yeah.
Test.
Which is?
This is run unit tests. And it's exactly the same. The only difference is this run tests.
Yeah. Well, we could actually run the tests in the same job, but that would be we will see later, because when those jobs are run are invoked by someone, let's say a pull request, a very nice looking UI will be created which says, hey, unit tests have passed, but static analysis have not. Just check static analysis, and it is done based on how many different jobs you have created. And so go for it.
I also wanted to go in this repo where I had set up the workflow with the ability to pick up stuff. So yeah, I wanted to do this, and I will need to add this to the static analysis step that we are adding. So after we run Gradle, we want to...
Care where you passed it. Oh, the shift tab works here?
Yeah.
Wow.
It works. So we want build, reports, detect. I'm not entirely sure that's the right place. It's probably...
up/build.
Yeah.
up/build/reports.
Build reports. And I'm not entirely sure about if you can put more than one. So let me check.
Sorry, it's multi-tool.
Multi-paths.
And actually, you can write a GitHub action like the way you're doing right now, with basically yum files as a series of other actions, or just basic executing stuff, or you can write them in JavaScript. There are really nice looking APIs for doing that in JavaScript, but I have JavaScript, so most of the time when I had the necessity to do so, I've wrapped those APIs in Kotlin JS and, webpack the hell out of the project into a single file and use that one. So yeah. Directory. You can have multiple files as long as they are in the same directory.
But I can set them to be all in the same one, but
no, you create a copy task or a sync task that copies from the other and create a new folder, and then you invoke that task, or you do so like finalize by.
Okay, so what you're saying is that I need...
You need a task. You need a task that actually... No, go in the root pro.
Yes.
No, here.
Wrong one. Get me 1 second. Wrong one again. I need to... there was one thing I mentioned earlier that I forgot to do, which is also coming... hand in hand with explaining why I'm calling both detect and detect main. And that reason is that detect main is experimental task for detect, where if you do this, if you take the detect task and set it that use the JVM target, it will do type resolution. So it will enable a lot more, like it will understand actually not just the text, but also the types that you're passing around, and so it can do a lot more checks that aren't otherwise easy to do.
What do you mean by type?
The types, like it parses the abstract syntax tree and does like it resolves the types, so you can check like if you have something that is missing or not resolved correctly.
Got it. What are those errors in the autocomplete stuff?
I don't know. There's something. Obviously I need to put this in the in the.
No, it's fine here. It's fine here. It's fine here.
I need to import it. Okay. Add import. Thank you. And sync again. Okay. And I need to do this.
No, wait. Add the tasks to use multiple sweary files.
Huh?
You want to do in different commits? Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay. And the thing you were saying was to create a task here, right?
Yeah. Just create. Go for no. You gotta call. Let me think. Wait.
Collect serif reports.
I'm thinking. Yeah, collect serif reports by registering, and it's this is open the no. You cannot do that. You gotta open the and it's a copy dot class. Because if you read yeah, I tried to write something that do not requires the K class to be passed, but you just can't. So
fine.
That's the less evil.
Okay, so I want to do from.
Yeah, but to do so, you gotta first create a dependency scheme, a dependency graph with the other.
I need to get the other ones and set that they depend that this depends on them.
They should be already created, so you should have already the handles generated for you. Depends on.
I never remember. Is this a function or?
It's a function.
Okay, and then I need
the
named.
No. They're already been generated for you, because you applied them in the configuration step in the plugins.
All right.
Exactly.
But it doesn't.
Maybe may not. Then for this one, because this one may have been generated. Exactly.
And then let's see if Kotlin. No, it was Lint Kotlin. Okay.
Check what name.
And also Lint.
Check what name returns to you. If the provider of the task itself.
Provider,
okay, then it's fine.
Yeah. This is the lazy one. So
okay.
Why are we checking? Because in Gradle, there's an old way and there's a new way to define and to find tasks. And the new way is the way that is lazy. And by being lazy, it allows Gradle to cache as much as possible and makes the configuration phase much faster. That's the TLDR.
Not only the configuration phase, but even the is the configuration phase when the scripts gets executed? No, is it?
Yes.
Okay, so the configuration phase.
Is this? I never remember. Is this from?
No, I would recommend you to. Yeah, it's from, but I would recommend you to create a val detect main by getting. No, outside.
You mean like for this?
Yeah, you recovery val. Yeah, exactly. By getting.
By named?
By getting.
Why? What's the difference?
Because it already exists, you're expecting. By getting and delete the function invocation.
What?
Because by being a delegation,
Oh, right.
it
Yeah,
gets
yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah.
exactly. It's exactly. So you expect it to exist, and now since we need to access the things inside of the detect main, because we gotta getting open the sorry, invoke it as a function and pass the type, which is probably a detect task. Does it exist? Is it?
Yeah, we're using it here, so yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you can configure it directly with this stuff. Like if you open the brackets after the getting, you can set the JVM target, and you can delete the ones before. Exactly. See. Exactly. See. Okay. But when you're not configuring the basic the base detect one, just
Right.
detect me this way.
So I'll leave it like this for now.
Okay, so now you can exactly pass the detect main, and then you gotta do a from, and it's a function, and then you gotta choose whatever you wanna pass to it. It's detect dot what. Do you know which one generates the serif?
I think all of them, but I think it's easy to just change, or I can do this as well. It doesn't really matter.
No, but the first one, it's already generated for you by the configuration phase.
Right.
So you don't need to.
Yeah, okay.
The other one, the detect main,
yeah,
is
you're
probably
right.
generated enough to evaluate. So we may get an error, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. Gradle will provide. Like you want.
It doesn't know the type though, I think.
No, you gotta get it, because this is a provider. Detect.get. No, the first one you already
right. Yeah.
you already resolved the first one, but here you just gotta resolve it.
Yeah, I'll resolve it.
Mm-hmm.
Dot serif report file, and then I need the lint one, and I don't know the lint one. Where?
You can find the link. No, go below. No, go below.
No, but it's serif output is, I can set it from here, I think.
Maybe it's already available in the task.
I'll check.
Lint.get.
No.
File.
Rip, no. Outputs. I mean,
YOLO. Yeah, just one thing. The serif report file detect when in detect, you gotta be sure that it's not the same name. To do so, you can divide them with two from. One from, create another
no,
from.
I'm quite sure that they generate reports. This is just the one, but if I run detect main, what is it complaining about? Detect main.
Because it's generated in the after evaluate. No. Then you can then you cannot access the serif report file, because it's not. No. No. Well. No. It will work. It will work that way. It will work. Let me think.
It just doesn't like that.
No, because named resolves right now the task. You just gotta remove the by and just put equals. In that way, yeah, exactly. Then named accepts the angular brackets, and yeah, remove the class and dots. And then you gotta also pass the name, because
Yep.
No.
Yeah. There's not a delegate anymore. It doesn't have access to the name.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this way may work, but I'm not sure about it.
Let's see. Nope.
No, because when the register get resolved, the detect main task has not already been created. So holy moly, you may try, which is kind of a last stance. You may try to invoke line 96 to 101 inside and after evaluate.
Well, I can I can leave this here and just get it, like just resolve it in an after evaluate, which is kind of horrible, but
just try to put it inside there. No. Just drop the after evaluate and use the named one directly inside the register.
oh well.
Exactly. Maybe.
I don't think it's gonna make any difference. It is. Okay.
It is because the register is actually lazy. So by when the registering gets resolved, the detect main task already got created. So you will find it. Oh gosh. That's why you can.
Detect.
That's correct.
Debug.
Yeah, whatever. There is a linting error, which is what you were looking for, I think.
No, but it's weird because it generated the reports. Well, let me do this and run it again. Because it generated the reports for debug, but then it fails on release, but it doesn't generate the report for release.
Stack trace.
Fine.
Yeah, it's right there. If you click there, IntelliJ will do it for you. Anyway.
Where? Here. Yeah, I missed it, obviously. Okay. Oh, it's failing because I've exceeded the maximum number of allowed things, but it's not writing the report for that.
What do you mean?
Because right now the detect configuration is to allow 0 errors.
Just run. Oh.
So I can put like that, and I think it will work now. Because clearly we have errors, but yeah, you see. But these errors here are all type resolution things that happen. Yeah. The idea is that I don't know why it only ran debug. I don't know.
Try to run detect. Yeah, that's always.
I guess I can do tasks and see how that goes.
What is GW?
Just a shortcut for Gradle wrapper. Just an alias.
But wait.
Yes.
Is that the W?
This is it's Linux.
Okay, got it.
That's why it's re-downloading it.
Yeah, exactly.
Might take a second.
But in the meantime, try to run from the run anything Gradle W detect release. Told you.
It doesn't do anything.
Exactly.
That's weird.
So what I think is that the detect plugin is generating for each build type a task in the after evaluate section, in the after evaluate of the Android plugin. So
let me think 1 second.
No, it's just
I don't know what tasks there are. That's the thing, because this is useless. It doesn't tell me what tasks I have.
okay. Go for task and then go for dash scan. Ctrl W to scan the tasks. No, dash. What?
What?
Aha! It's a default task. Oh, this is evil.
But why?
It's the error on line 97. At line 97, you say
Yeah. I know. I get what's going on. I get that we are expecting detect main to be a task of type detect, but it's not.
You know.
So I would have to do like
outputs.
this and outputs and YOLO.
Yeah, YOLO. Go for it. Let's use the Gradle way, the groovy way.
Okay, and I was just going to check detect main, detect release.
Detect main across all variants. Release.
So I only want to run detect release anyway. I don't care about running detect on debug code.
YOLO.
So I guess if I do this, but then I don't see anything
nothing.
showing up. It might be a bug in the detect Gradle plugin, to be honest.
Why shouldn't you? Well, do we really need?
Also,
I mean, do we?
what?
If you run just detect, what happens?
I mean, Earth doesn't shatter, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
I just quickly want to check type destination.
No, you already added the outputs. We just we need to figure out which outputs actually adds it. You can actually write them. You can just go for println link dot output get dot output. So or just no write wherever. Just lint. No, go in task in the task. Yeah, there, and write lint. Open the lambda. Yeah, and inside the lambda println outputs. Yeah, I hate this bug very much.
Just a bit.
Now just sync it and go in the build side in the build and see what explodes. Oh, come on. Outputs dot
Files.
There was
But this is lint, is not.
Oh, come on, files.
I love the two strings here.
Five, the first one. Yeah, finally.
Files.
Okay, nice. So it wouldn't work. So we got a hard code where we want to output this one and then reference it here as well.
Yeah. So that is, by the way, this. So this would be serif output. And I guess we just do something like this.
Should you? Here?
Huh?
No, it's something that you gotta do in the build there.
Yes, I was just about to do stuff.
No,
lint
dot. Not go to build there. Just use the build there variable. No, right there. Instead of no, it was fine. It was fine the way you wrote it. Just instead of build literally in the string, use the variable builder.
So this is a file.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Trust me, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Because you can change the builder.
Okay, fine. Let me see what happens when I run
No,
Yes.
then you.
I just want to see what happens when I.
No, you reuse the Android.
This is the Android one. I want to see what happens because I would expect it to
No,
write it just here somewhere. Yeah. Okay.
It will, but it won't be inside the lint report. So you're just gonna because yeah, this go below in
Below
the
where?
in the copy task.
Oh right. Yeah. Sure.
Right.
Yes.
Now there is a problem that we have a lot of linter stuff. So we gotta do one rename them. So I would say no. I don't think it will work this way anyway because there is some evil magic that connects the lint task to the actual output of the file. So lint.get.outputs won't work.
Mm-hmm.
I would say to use the
Well, I mean, we can literally have this as a variable and use that, right?
That was I was thinking, but there may be another concurrency problem in the task graph. Go open the run that you already did on the Let me see the task that I have been invoked. Lint the bug, as I was thinking. Go below. Lint analyze the bug. Lint the debug. Copy debug and draw lint reports. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. So.
But there's gonna be one per each thing, and to be honest, I'm not entirely sure we should run lint debug. We should probably run lint release anyway. Like this.
Lint Kotlin release. There was.
No, but stop confusing them. This is the Android one. This is the Android lint.
Yeah, okay, so the ones that got generated in the after evaluate, like the flavor and stuff, won't be auto-generated because they are generated after the script gets evaluated. So you just gotta use the named.
Yeah.
Well, actually, inside here, I think you can use the by.
In here.
Mm-hmm.
So I could do
By getting. Mm-hmm.
And I could technically do.
Well, you should figure it out the type first.
Huh?
And to do so, just write inside here at line 100.
Yep.
Write println of lint release, two dots. Do you say it in English? Semicolon. Colon. Class dot qualified name.
This is Android lint, right?
Yeah, we gotta figure it out the class so that we can use the types in Kotlin. So just print them qualified name. Yeah, sync it. See in the build what it prints out. Probably a simple task.
Android lint task.
Yeah, the decorated one is the one added. So it's no, don't touch the decorated. Just ignore it.
Yeah.
It's groovy evil stuff.
This is the
type. So yeah, you just open the brackets and dot class. Sorry.
Colon
Class. Yeah. It works. Okay. So now you can use you can use the types.
Okay. I also need to do lint release here. Mm-hmm. And lint release dot report. I don't know if this task where this task
HTML report
serif report output file. Ta-da! Okay. So we are fine with
you can delete
detect.
You can delete the hard-coded stuff in the top.
Right, yeah.
Not only this one. I mean,
I know. I'm just going there. I don't need this one anymore.
I think that we will gets some problem here by copying them brutally in this way. So you just gotta create multiple froms, one for each of them, then open a lambda after, for example, the first one. Exactly, go for rename inside there.
Okay.
And then renames them like detect serif rename. The second one? No. It's a lambda. Exactly. And then returns a string.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the implicit parameter is the actual name of the file, but we don't need it.
Okay. So I need to do
this way.
I need to do this. I need to do this. This is Android lint. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So now, one thing that I will first of all suggest is not to use a copy task, but to use a sync task.
Okay.
Because it deletes the old files if there are some.
It doesn't really make a difference when running on the CI, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. But in locally, it may do because caches.
Okay, let's try and run this.
No, the output. Into.
Right. Yeah.
Into. Everything's gotta be into. Build. Yeah, just build here / serif. Or report / serif. I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. But now, if you run this task, it will work.
Let's see. Gradle. No, obviously.
What?
I thought I had copied the name of the task, which I had not.
And voila. Everything has exploded. Nice.
Detect release.serif is a duplicate. Oh, wait, because this one is the wrong type.
What?
Detect release is the wrong type, probably.
No. Oh.
So let's see again.
No, detect release was of type just simple task.
I think so, but I'm just double checking.
But I think that the output of release it's the same of.
No.
Is it? What is it? Is it? Am I a joke to you?
I will not complain.
What?
I will not complain.
Yeah, I think that the IntelliJ team should write on the side. It worked. I don't know.
I just synced.
It was yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Golf clap.
You just learn how to tolerate Gradle.
Yeah, I think you suffer from Stockholm syndrome, but
yeah, I mean it's better this one than having nothing like in npm.
Yeah, sure.
That's the point. Now when you just gotta do run your basic Gradle application and add the library, you just gotta add Gradle. You would say, why not npm? Well, but when you gotta do something real complex, you just can't without. I mean, it's a mess without Gradle.
Yep. So I guess what we need to do is we said that we need to check the serif file, which is going to be a directory. So app build report serif.
Ta-da!
And here we need to use the same tasks that we were using, which were, well,
no, just that one.
Yeah, okay, fine. But I think I had removed
Lint.
Yeah, let me call this Android.
No, you can't. Unless you change to a name.
This will work.
Now this will not.
Why not?
Because it's a bind.
I
The name
know,
itself
I'm
is
joking.
not that you can-
But I can.
No, you can use. You can. No, wait. You can use the get. If you use the name equals named, then you pass the type with the exactly, and then the actual name of the exactly, and then you can call it whatever, Android Evil, whatever, banana.
I can call it whatever, literally. Okay. Oh, because I need to get. Okay, fine, makes sense.
You can put the get on the name so that you don't, you know.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's
I
the
don't
same.
mind. I don't give a shit.
Now you're a Gradle expert as well.
Yay! Now I can punch myself in the face really hard like you do all the time.
Exactly.
No, the thing that I wanted to do was to, yeah, I forgot to add, well, it's not that I forgot, I am not running KT-Lint here, so I just wanted to make sure that I was running KT-Lint. Because KT-Lint is not generating a serif report, so it would be weird if it were run by collect serif report.
Yeah, so now then no, then the correct behavior would be to create a task that you go do all linting stuff, and then you finalize that task with the collect service report.
Okay, let's be very, very nerdy about about
to
this
be
stuff.
To be correct, you just gotta It's just a normal. No, you don't even need a val. You just go for like
register.
You can even do something evil, I think. Just open a string, write a name, and then open the parentheses.
I hate that. I don't even know. I don't think it's lazy.
No, then it just create. Register. Register.
What's the difference between the two?
Which ones?
Register and create.
The create is not lazy.
Okay, yeah.
The register is lazy.
That's why I want to use this. Do you hate my configuration avoidance?
No.
Okay, so depends on, and it
exactly
on.
You gotta have to copy from line 99 to line 102.
Oh, these ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I also need to add the KT-Lint one.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the whole point why we're doing this.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but that's it.
Not entirely sure, but whatever.
No, it will work. It will work.
Yeah. Then, no. It's unrelated.
But
I can. I cannot move this one.
No, you cannot because it's lazy.
Well, the named one would work, right? Because
it's lazy as well, that one.
Yeah, but this is lazy. It's only evaluated, like it's only resolved when I do get, or am I wrong?
No. The point is that the task has to be have to be registered to be getted by the named.
Oh, okay.
So the point is that there is a series of actions that are run by the configuration phase. You start, the plugins get applied, and when the plugins get applied, some task gets registered. Those are the ones that you will be able to reference here directly. Then you create some task, you do whatever, and then, for example, for each build variant, some task will be created before running. So
It's being used by another process. I think it's just you being drunk, Gradle. If I may.
Run it from command line and see what happens.
Yeah, this is just
Oh, oh, ooh.
fuck
Kill,
you.
kill, kill.
Let's try again. Yeah, it was Gradle. It was drunk as usual. Okay, okay. So now if I run this, I just want to check that it works, and then we can push, and we're done. We can
Are
just
we?
try. Yeah, yeah.
Are we? Dun dun dun.
Stop this immediately. You're not
Dun
allowed.
dun dun.
I'm getting hungry-ish. That's when I decide that it's time to finish. It's when I get hungry. But yeah, it seems like it's running everything. So essentially, we just need to run the static analysis task in here. Okay.
Ta-da.
It ran all the things. It reported all the serifs things. So I think we're fine.
Okay, so
I obviously need to commit this
I would
and
recommend.
push
Wait,
this.
wait.
But
Yes, but I would say do not add the great team. Oh, come on.
ha ha ha. Sorry, you were saying?
No. It wasn't related to that commit. If you go back to the GitHub, yeah, don't add it from here. Just add it from the a file, a normal regular file in the IDE.
Yeah, let's see if it works, because sometimes it complains that if it's using HTTP, it doesn't like it. You have to use SSH and whatever.
What?
Yeah, don't ask.
It
happened to me.
I never used SSH to never, unless I got a
Is it
legally
workflow? Workflows, obviously.
workflows.
I need to...
It's not .github/workflows. It's in the GitHub folder. Now inside the GitHub, yeah. Exactly.
And file build.bot.yaml.
Yes, and then
we
you
paste this. Okay.
I think that maybe they added the autocomplete for the names of the actions.
Yeah. Well, you have the schema here.
Wow.
Least, so there's that. So that works. Okay. Create build bot GitHub action, and let's commit and push. YOLO.
Ta-da!
YOLO.
Yeah, you can go to actions and leave page. Haha. Haha. Ta-da!
Yay.
That was easy.
I mean, this one is gonna finish very quickly as soon as it starts, because it does nothing. So...
yeah. What I think very cool is that the eschatos actually set up the Gradle.
Fuck! I forgot to change the name. Oh well.
It creates the. It caches the Gradle cache, because when you run jobs, when you run jobs, you can say, okay, this file is a cache, and in the next time you invoke that job for the next whatever, just repull those files in the job. And Gradle has a lot of caches, and the eschatos action check and the eschatos Gradle action command action.
I generally use the generic caches thing action from GitHub, but it seems kind of pointless. So it's actually good that this is better.
Yeah. This one is actually thought for Gradle specifically. To be honest, the Gradle actions are not so intuitive coming from what's the name of the other service.
Okay, I think I found a bug. I'm pressing enter and it deletes the thing. I don't even. What I wanted to do was to just shut up. You're not my supervisor. Yes, just I'm so fancy.
Very fancy.
I mean, while I'm at it, might as well. Okay, I will commit it, but I will wait a second to see if this works. This is taking forever to start up, but it might be because there's no cache.
Yeah, the first time there is no
Oh,
cache.
yeah, let's try to see if we can remove JCenter, by the way.
Papa.
Although
It's in the
I
root
need
file.
to do refresh dependencies because I have it in, I have stuff cached locally, so that wouldn't work, but I can do this and this. Let's see if we can get rid of that cancer. And I probably need to
I liked the JCenter once.
Shut up.
I have a lot of libraries of mine on JCenter. I need to migrate them to Maven Central.
Well, it's not closing down anymore. It's just being there indeterminately as read-only.
But they went read-only from one day to another. I was trying to publish a library, and I discovered like a few hours later that they decided Ta-da! We are read-only now. What? Just give me whatever.
Again? Come on.
Yeah, kill it with fire. You have no other choice. Yeah, it's this one. Nice.
I'm so fancy. By the way, I found out about this thing relatively recently when I was trying to debug some weird issues with the Gradle team, the IntelliJ Gradle team. I didn't know that that was a thing. What I usually did was in the terminal, I set up an alias, which is like, I think, fuck it, that runs Gradle ---- stop, which is the same thing, but
yeah.
I think this is nicer. Although I wish there was just an action to kill all the Gradle demons without opening that window.
You bind it to a to a keybind.
I mean, I can create a macro, sort of, but I never remember how to do that, and I'm like, meh, whatever. How do you even do that?
We can.
Oh yeah, down there. Hehe. But I cannot do it now. So I will stop. Womp womp
No,
womp womp.
actually...
It seems like it's doing shit, so it might actually work at the end of the day.
Everything of Google is on, Google. So you're using basically Google stuff, and the Gradle plugins are on the Gradle.
Yeah, but it's weird because I know that detect was depends on Kotlin X HTML, and I'm not entirely sure.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, in fact, it failed, and it failed. Oh, I also just realized that a useful thing to do here would be to do continue, so it doesn't stop at the first one that fails. And the same thing goes here. Because you want to run everything and just get all the failures. So yeah, I think this version of detect doesn't work because it depends on Kotlin X HTML, which this version 0.7.2 was only on bin tray and 0.7.3 is on central. So I know that the latest detect version, which is 0.17 whatever, which is an RC, doesn't depend on JCenter anymore. But for now, until they go stable, I'll have to leave the cancer there. Make sure everything runs and fails. Misleading. Okay. Commit and push. Yeah, I mean it did pass, so that's good. We have a CI.
Let me see. Yeah, but static analysis, should it pass?
Well, yeah, no, it should. It passes locally, so I expect it to pass.
Wasn't there a few serif stuff?
No, that was fine. We fixed everything.
Okay.
Like if I like it was failing now because I had the refresh dependencies without JCenter, but
Right.
if I run it again, it should work just fine. Yeah.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
So I would say once this is done, we are done. And thank you for the Gradle madness as usual.
Gradle Captain here.
Yeah, which sounds like one of those badges that come with PTSD or something.
Yeah, I spent a lot of nights actually trying to understand what was going behind the scenes when you just click sync and when you run a task and
I
like
actually just realized that I could also pass no daemon because this only wastes time.
meh.
I mean, it's a Docker container.
Yeah. Well, but the cache is actually, saves the daemon. I don't even know how the daemon actually works. So, is it literally a process, or
Yeah.
is it like files that a process uses?
It's to avoid having to spin up a JVM instance every time you run Gradle, but in this case, we only run it once, and then the Docker container is shut down, so there's no point
Yeah.
in spinning up the daemon. I don't know if it actually makes any practical difference in performance, but
Probably not. Are you writing? Oh yeah, right.
I am. But I will commit it, but I will not push it because I just want to see if this. Oh, it's alive. Okay, unit tests are green. Thank you. There's nothing to run, but that's fine. The interesting thing would be to see if there's a way to generate the Sarif output from JUnit. Probably there is.
What do you mean?
So I can upload the Sarif to GitHub so it shows up in pull requests. And,
most surely there is a plugin for Gradle that does exactly that. JUnit 5 Sarif.
Yeah. We haven't set up JUnit 5 yet, but we will at some point.
Is there?
Oh, it's complaining about something.
Aha.
Why is it?
I told you that there was something.
Yeah, but it wasn't failing.
It was these light colors. It was not failing. It was just saying, well, you're a prick, basically.
Oh. I just wanted empty list. Fine. But then I would expect the thing to fail, and it did not. It did not. Because this task.
It was warnings. It was warnings.
Oh, I know why.
Because you disabled the warning, the average warning as banana.
No, because I did this.
Aha.
Lol.
Aha. Shouldn't you run it before committing?
Sure.
It's still exploding actually, so did you?
No, this is just type resolution.
Okay.
Yeah, even I've just taken that out. I was just testing shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so now it passes and it's meant to.
Hooray!
Probably.
Hooray!
But, yeah, I think we are done for today. Regardless, even if it doesn't work, we'll fix it on Sunday.
Makes sense.
Oh God. Okay, I will. I will stare at it. It takes 5 minutes, but I mean, I think we can wrap up
Right.
anyway. While this does things, we can stare at the empty
Yeah.
void that that
Yeah, but
is the static analysis running.
the point of CI is not to stare at it, you know,
I
because
know,
you just run it and forget it. But
I know.
I always do the same as well. I like run like 300 jobs, and I say, and I'm like, go on, please,
Yeah.
don't block.
But you
Let me
cannot
know.
do that. You cannot do that with TeamCity when you have like an hour to wait for like 200,000 tests to run.
You come on, run. Let me know.
Just like, I need to know.
I need to know. Tell me.
But that's
And
that's okay. Okay, so I would say first of all, thank you, Lamberto, as usual,
you're
for
welcome.
your gradeliness. I don't know if that's a compliment. That's up to you
Great,
to
great,
decide whether it's a compliment or not.
Gradleness. Gradleness.
Gradle-less.
Gradleness.
No, yeah, because gradle-less would mean
No,
you're
no, no.
doing
Gradle more.
JavaScript or something.
No, no. Gradle more.
And thank you for explaining to me some things that I hadn't understood very well, clearly. So that's very good. And thank you for helping
Whatever.
us set up everything, including the actions, and for pushing me to do things the proper way instead of hacking them together, because it works exactly the
Never,
same.
never hack things, especially Gradle, because you're gonna regret the next
Yeah.
task you try to write.
Yeah, but maybe it's gonna be Ivan regretting it instead of me. And it's not my, there's a 50% chance that it's someone else's problem.
You know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No, I'm joking anyway. Yes.
It's almost finished.
It was a lot of Gradle, but Ivan, if you work with Lamberto, you would know that there's always a lot of Gradle involved, regardless of what he's doing.
Whatever you're doing, never do anything by hand. I think I have no like bash scripts in any of my repository ever. Even I have, even in Python at some point I was so frustrated by not having a build tool that I went for Gradle for for Python projects as well, because I cannot stand by doing things by hand repeatedly. Oh, it uploaded some serif file, did it? Yeah,
Yes.
it did. It
Yeah,
did.
but they're empty
And
because there's nothing to complain about, I guess.
okay, but
Why
okay,
are
so
the unit tests still running? Okay, that was
yeah,
weird.
but my point is that but you upload those serifs. Let's say that there is an error inside the serif file.
Yeah.
What do you do?
It's more useful with a pull request.
Oh.
I don't remember exactly how it looks, but it's like GitHub serif. Have you ever used code ML?
No.
Code QL, sorry.
Nope.
So they created this thing, and blah blah blah. Yeah, I think we need
want a
to.
screenshot.
We also need to enable code QL, whatever. One thing at a time. We'll do everything.
QL stands for quality.
Huh?
QL
code
stands
query language. It's stuff. It's a very cool thing that does stuff.
Okay. It seems like very important.
Yeah, it's a way that you can use to understand the code in a language agnostic way, and do like queries on the it's like GraphQL is the same idea but for code. So you can get specific information about the code by querying against it instead of parsing it and doing stuff. Anyway, I would say we have done more than enough for today.
Yay.
And thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you again, Lamberto. Thank you, Ivan, for being with us, even though you couldn't really be with us. And
Get well.
see you all on Sunday, usual time, 4 p.m. Central European time. And that's like, I'm terrible with time zones, so take it with a pinch of salt, but I think it's 10 a.m. East Coast and 7 a.m. West Coast.
Yeah,
So
use
if you
the
like
link.
to wake up with coffee and Italians shouting at code, then yeah, I'm a San Francisco. Good. Thank you, everyone. Have a
Bye-bye.
great one.
See ya.
Bye.